Hello YouTube, my name is Swaggar from Alpha X StarCraft 2, here to bring you some more high-level replays from OlimoLeague of September 2020. This is from the semifinals match between these two players, and hopefully we should have a good one for you. It is a best of 5, so we'll just keep score right there. And without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Spawning in the bottom left-hand position of Ice and Chrome Ellie, representing a Freak of Freaks StarCraft 2, it is Stats. And his opponent, which certainly has his work cut out for him, spawning in the top right-hand position of Ice and Chrome, representing a Freak of Freaks as well, it is Armani. 2 of Freak of Freaks enter, 1 of Freak of Freak leaves. It is a tale as old as time, ladies and gentlemen, and we already have this starting off with a bang with a nice hatch block from Stats. Armani can't be too pleased about that, but you gotta do what you gotta do, right? I heard you can just like send down a drone at like 16 or 15 or 14, I forget. You can send out a drone early to prevent this, but Armani decided to live life dangerously. And then dangerous things happen to him and he is shocked I say. But yeah, hopefully we should have a good game cut out for us, a good series cut out for us. Stats, definitely a very remarkable player, you know. I don't think he does remarkable things by any means. Okay, wait, let me backtrack. He doesn't do very exciting, remarkable things, right? He's a very unremarkable player from the craziness perspective of things, right? But it's because he's so good at being unremarkable, is why he is so remarkable, right? Makes sense, painless to understand. Armani, on the other hand, I feel like he's a lot more of a wild card out there, but I feel like Stats' playstyle is definitely very good against a player like Armani, who was not afraid to bring on the aggression every once in a while. Maybe that was part of his plan. Maybe this is a forward hatchery. Maybe he's like, haha, you fool. This will make the roaches get to your base faster. And if you look at the map, yeah, probably. A little bit. But yeah, Ice and Chrome, pretty standard map. No crazy shenanigans going on here. And as we wait for our game to go ahead and ramp up, let me go ahead and tell you a little bit about myself. I am a caster from StarCraft 2. Rather, for StarCraft 2 from Alpha X. Used to do this a lot more often, but then, you know, life happened. Moved into an apartment. Had to start paying bills. Oh my god, bills are terrible, people. I don't know how you deal with them. But yeah, that's the life, that's the bean. So if you hear some stifled laughing in the background, some pots and pans banging, maybe some chewing, you know, some silverware against silverware, some stifled jiding at me, being alone in my room talking to myself, you know, just ignore that. We're here to play a game. We're here to watch some good stuff happen, right? So yeah, let's go ahead and just focus on our game right now. This adept here, like I said, this hatchery is way out over here, so it's going to be pretty inconvenient for our Armani to try and defend any adept shenanigans. Stats really only wants to use 1, and generally that means he doesn't want to try and abuse anything on the Zerg side of things. We see he has a gateway to plug in the hole and an oracle on the way, so... Oh, actually, looks like a Zergling go ahead and ran on in, so Armani definitely has knowledge of what's going on. He is no fool. He goes to school. And he has done his homework, and he knows that Spore should be going down any time now to defend against this Oracle. Or at the very least, a couple more Queens, and there we go. Spore is on the way, so yeah, definitely very excited to see where this takes us. Did I turn on the music? Let me go ahead and turn on some music. This just sounds weird. It's just StarCraft noises. Aw, there we go. Beautiful, right? Now it's StarCraft. Oracle making its way across the map. We're gonna see what Stats wants to do, what unremarkable thing he has up his sleeve for us this evening. I feel like I'm being untowardly mean. It's not unremarkable. No one can do what Stats can do, right? But, you know, as far as crazy plays, you know, weird strategy, Stats isn't really the guy. But it's still nice to see. We take notes, we learn from Stats, and we climb the ladder, right? Armani just trying to play it pretty standard so far, nothing crazy. The +1 melee attacks is definitely a variation we see from time to time. Oracle gonna fly in to the main base, get 2 drones, and then fly off. Kind of bruised, no surprises there. This Evo chamber though is really what is concerning me here. +1 melee attacks. So when I used to play StarCraft more often, this is more of a sign of I'm gonna cancel your 3rd base, right? This was I'm gonna make some Zerglings. I'm gonna hope that you mess up with your Stargates, that you don't have enough Oracles, or that you're, you know, gonna use up all the energy or whatever, and I'm just gonna cancel your 3rd, right? It could be that sort of +1 attack idea he wants to do, and judging by his lack of gases, I would say he is none too pleased with Stats at the moment. And yes, Baning next coming on down, so Stats should have his work cut out from him in defending this base. At least I think so. That's my prediction. I'm not super up to date on StarCraft nowadays, but I will certainly try and do my best. These oracles definitely have to be at least a little bit of a dissuasion, and looks like he's just macroing right up to a layer, keeping that +1 just as an early +1, I guess. Stats trying to kill that queen. Never in a million years is that gonna happen, folks. And yeah, just defending here, doing what Stats does best. He's getting his defenses up, he's getting more gateways, he's getting his robo, his +1 is on the way. Just playing a very solid game. He doesn't want to take any risks. He doesn't want to do anything crazy. Templar Archives goes down. Maybe that's a little bit early, but not really. Depending on how you want to play the game. You can either do that for a quick storm, or you can just like get some Archons out if you want to hit a really nice +1 timing. You can do it really either way. And Armani seems content to just macro up, so it looks like he was just going a very low gas, very high econ sort of strategy here. Powered up to 4 bases nice and fast, got his drone count up super early, so we should be seeing a nice, strong mid-game for Armani. So far, things are looking so good. We see the first Templar warping in on Stats' side of the map, and probably should be seeing these turn into Archons right now. Yeah, Archon drop seems to be the flavor of the day. A little bit delayed, but still, you know, they're able to do some things. They can fly in, they can hurt the Zerg, as long as you're doing something to keep the Zerg on its toes, you know. Protoss and Zerg are kind of the races that have to be kept in check, you know. Like, they're the ones that have to be really, like, you have to keep your belt tightened on them, right? You can't give them much room to breathe. Because if you do, we've all had those games where Protoss just Chronos probes for 20 minutes, or Zerg gets 4 base saturation by like 5 minutes, and it's just terrible, terrible news. So yeah, see what this can do. He starts Storm immediately afterwards. Definitely like that decision. It's just showing him that he thinks he's a better player than Armani. He wants to play the long con, see if he can get some damage out, and the longer the game goes, the more he'll have chances to show how good of a player he really is. Armani gonna go ahead and defend that first drop pretty well. That's not really getting too much, but you know, it's a delayed Archon drop. You don't really need to get anything off of it. And looks like Hydroling Bane is gonna be on the menu today. Not something I see super often nowadays, but definitely still a very strong strategy. Yeah. Still more defense from Armani. Let's see what's happening on Stats' side of the map. Just a couple of exposed Templar here. If these Banelings, if these Zerglings get turned into Banelings, I wouldn't have half a mind to say that they are planning on doing some naughty things to that Templar. I got my eye on you. A Dropper Lord too. Alright, so these probes are probably not long for this world, but let's not focus on that. Let's focus on this drop over here, and just keep that Baneling drop in mind. Storm is done. This Warp Prism absolutely needs to be recalled. Armani just triple checking that nothing is in range with that Warp Prism. He's repositioning everything to see if he can just touch it. Stats ain't biting. And looks like you just have to focus on his own side of the map for now. You can see Stats not really super active on the map. He's got an Observer there. He's got a Warp Prism there. Well, he had a Warp Prism there. So he should just be focusing on his own base right now, which means he should see this drop coming. Generally, I'm a fan of Zergs doing this when they know there's, you know, something else that Protoss is focusing on. Like, I would love to see this fly in when Stats is harassing with a Warp Prism, maybe over here, you know, just to kind of draw his eyes off the screen. But it could still work. Could still work. This is a very formidable army so far. This doesn't look like there's a lot, but Stats is kind of the epitome of tiny but mighty, and I can appreciate that, ladies and gentlemen. More so than you know. Armani gonna go ahead and posture up for an assault on this 4th base location. We see the Dropper Lord moving on in. That is that multi-prong attack that I was talking about. Definitely am a fan. Let's see if Stats reacts in time, and well, about as expected, ladies and gentlemen. Good. Whoa. 17 probes go down, which is pretty much every single probe that was mining minerals. And Armani just jukes and jives Stats, goes back home, and continues to macro up. Now while enjoying a 50 supply advantage. Whew. Kind of a rough deal there for Stats, especially when you're getting a fleet bacon, as well as multiple Stargates. I don't know about this. If I were Armani, I'd be very comfortable right now. No real damage has been done on Armani's side of the field. Units lost tab. How do I pull that up? I don't know, but rest assured, it's not that many. He maybe got a couple of... Ooh. Another Baneling Rumbai here. Doesn't seem to find much purchase. Speed Dropper Lord. Also just gonna go ahead. Oh, that's cute. Stats throws down another, but I think it's just gonna get triggered by this changeling, isn't it? It should. As soon as it's done in stasis, it's just gonna get triggered again. Armani knows everything that's going on. I mean, honestly, it is his game to lose at this moment. Well, not really. I guess it's more like Armani has been given every opportunity to try and make something happen this game. More baiting run by is going to be unfruitful, and let's see, Armani's coming on in. The storms from stats preemptively spacing. Meanwhile, a nice counterattack on this location. Banings do get stormed down. And overall, a good defense from stats. Maybe there's some baiting connections over there, which are kind of rough. Definitely sees the baiting thing coming on in, and here we go. The stasis ward's actually doing so much for trapping this, for stats in this engagement. Oh! Whoa! That was pretty rough, though. But when all is said and done, it was a pretty reliable hold there from stats. Still has 83 to 86 army supply. Banings are going to get targeted on down. So the Banings haven't traded too efficiently so far. They've been trying to get these Templar. There was one nice connection over here, which didn't really accomplish too much in the main push. Small little counterattack harassment here from stats is going to pick off a couple of drones. Nothing too remarkable. And yeah, Armani's just macroing up. He got that Spire to try and counter those carriers. Vipers are on the way. Seismic Spines and Diggy Claws. I think those are Digging Claws on the way as well. So Armani comfortable to take stats into the late game. Now here's the thing. I understand Armani's reasoning, right? He's in a good position. He slowed down stats a little bit. He has a good bank. He has a good worker count, right? He tried some aggression. Went alright. Not amazingly. So I can see why he'd be feeling at least a little confident. But this is stats domain. This is like trying to fight an ice cube in the freezer. You don't fight the ice cube in the freezer. That's its home. You can't fight him there. You gotta take that thing to the fridge. Or the counter, even better. Stats is going to be very happy going and playing this late game. We're going to know his control, we're going to see how powerful it is, and we're going to see his amazing defense. One Baining sets off the Stasis Ward. Nice play there by Armani. Nice little fun little thing there. And yeah, Corruptors and Vipers are on the way. Carrier count from stats is pretty nutty. He's at, what, 6? 6 is pretty good, and it's about to be 9 here pretty soon. And there's not much you can do to break 9 carriers if you just have Hydroling Bane. Even with Vipers and stuff, you can just kind of force the fight at that point, right? The Corruptors, though, definitely an appreciable transition. War Prism, not long for this world. Oh, it actually kind of landed. Oh, sorry. It actually kind of landed on that pillar, the debris. That's kind of nifty. Good job, StarCraft II map developers. We appreciate you. How do I zoom out extra more? There we go. I remember how to do these things. I am a competent caster. Overload gonna try and sneak in another drop. No multi-prong harass at the moment. Maybe something over here to take Stats' attention away. But he's a lot more prepared this time. When you know what's coming, you know it's coming. And it looks like only 4 drones, or probes rather, go down this time. Zealot's having fun killing ranged weird head thingies in the middle of the map. Ooh, good feedback's going down on the Vipers. One carrier does get abducted, but these Vipers are all out of energy, and now if Stats had a mind to, he could force this fight. Doesn't look like he's super interested in that. Oh, looks like a carrier actually over here. It was a nice idea, but 7 probes still ended up going down, and now we have this. Ooh, actually, carriers are not alone. Armani flying right into carriers. That's not what we like to see. 1, 2, 3. 3. 3. 3. 2. 2 Corruptors going down, and while that's happening, more and more counterattacks on Stats' side of the map. I am liking this for Armani, but now Stats is saying, alright, well, you can play footies with me, but can you commit? And Armani is gonna have a lot of problems doing that. Oh, flies right into storms with the Corruptors. Bad beans, folks. Bad beans indeed. Adrenal Glands is finishing, but can Armani even defend against his air fleet? I mean, how many carriers? Let's see. 8. Pretty good, and 3 more in production. And a Mama Ship. Mama Ship is here. Big Mama Ship. And there's no real anti-air from Armani. He's got a couple of yoinks. He's gonna pull the Mothership, but Mothership is... yeah, it's always gonna die. It always dies when that happens. Even when it doesn't die, it dies. Yeah, kinda sad. But, you know, Stats' push is still pretty unhindered. He needs more Corruptors than this. And all of his Corruptors are still bruised from all of these storms and all of those Archons. There's just no stopping this. Armani losing base after base. Stash is kind of stepping on his face here. Ooh, that rhymed. Alright, make a note, Caster Swagger. Save that for later. But in the meantime, Armani is kind of just dying here. With no real fight. I mean, is this really the army he wants? He's just trying to pick it apart, but I mean, he's just taking more and more losses each time he goes in. His Corruptor Cloud is more like a Corruptor, like, misting. This is like a misting of Corruptors, like a spray bottle, like a He needs more than that. I mean, look, this is the army that we wanted, you know? Lurkers and seismic spines to space those Templar. I was wondering where these were during the whole time, and they were just chilling. Now finally putting them to work on this Nexus here, but it may be a little bit too late. Don't get me wrong, taking out a Nexus is good, but he lost a lot of Corruptors in there. And now his bank is, you know, still respectable, but no gas. 1, 2, 3 bases lost? I mean, it's pretty rough stuff. It's 4 bases to 5, with the 5th one for Armani still being developed. And we all know, if Zerg is on equal bases, he is not on equal bases. Armani gonna go ahead and try and position against this Golden Armada once again. Burrows on the ramp. I like this. Try and get those Templar away from your Corruptors, but I mean, they're all so low. I think Sats can just straight up fight this, and it looks like that is what he's gonna do. He's just moving on forward, very confident in his advantage. Armani trying to hold off as he can, but his supply is plummeting. The first carrier finally goes down, but so many losses were suffered on the way. +2 air weapons against only no air armor upgrades actually at all. It's all attack upgrades. So these Corruptors just getting shredded by the carriers for no good reason. Half the arm supply now, gonna lose all of his Corruptors, and I think we're seeing the death throes of Armani. GG is called, and Stats wins game number 1. Stay tuned, folks. We're gonna be seeing game number 2 here momentarily. Hello YouTube, it is Swagar from Alpha X StarCraft II, back at you with game number 2. As promised. Now, here's the thing, when I was talking about my life, my girlfriend was very sad that I did not mention her. She's watching me catch, so you are also in my life. You want to say hi to the nice people?
Hello.
Yeah, the mic's kind of far away, but you guys get the energy. But yeah, she plays League of Legends, so, you know, it's okay, but, you know, I can manage. Gamer respect gamer, right? Anyways, let's go ahead and get back into this game. Top left-hand corner of Death Aura. It is Stats. And in the bottom right-hand corner, it is Armani. Now, Armani more than ever needs your energy, folks. I don't know if you believe in energy transferring through space and time. I personally don't, but it makes you feel good, right? So, if you were sitting at home, wiggle a little bit, shaking your sheets, do a little bit of a hocus pocus, little hand-wavy magic, Armani needs your power. Because last game, oh my gosh, Armani was all over last game. He was doing good harassment damage, he was slowing down Stats, he was getting to exactly where he needed to be, and then Stats came in and just kind of smashed his face in. And, you know, if there's one thing that's disheartening in a game of StarCraft, it's when you get to do exactly what you want to do and it all goes according to plan and you still lose. Oh man, my mentality gets so trashy after that, guys. It is rough. They call me Mr. Basura Head when that happens, because my mentality is so trash. But yeah, let's see what Stats has in store for this time around. Like I said, Stats kind of a, you know, calm player, but he's definitely capable of pulling out some hocus pocus. No hatchery block this time, so Armani's gonna at least be enjoying that for the most part. And yeah, pretty standard game. Now, oh, actually I thought this gas can was Armani's, and I was like, ooh, got a little bit of a gas play going on. But no, everything completely unremarkable so far. But yeah, it was actually one of my roommate's friend's birthdays right now, so I just had some cake. Cake is good for the throat. The oils in the cake and the fat kind of grease it up over here, so my vocal flaps just kind of hit together just a little bit better. So I'm definitely happy about that. And you should be hearing a little bit more of a silken, buttery smooth to my voice. Maybe a little more of a chocolatey, velvety sort of noise. She made it from scratch at home, and that was pretty nifty. The frosting was good, the cake was good. I can't eat that much because I just ate an entire anchovy and chicken pizza by myself. So needless to say, I am not very hungry right now. But yeah, I am hungry for some StarCraft. Stats is too, and he is throwing down that Stargate, same as last time. Should be seeing another gate. Or actually no, on this map you just need a gateway and a cyber to block the natural. So maybe he's gonna save throwing down another gate and instead go for a little bit an earlier expansion. Maybe on the low ground, maybe on here. I've seen mixed responses. Personally, I'm more of a fan of the low ground. Easy to defend everything, but if you really do like that high ground advantage, if you're gonna play kind of storm heavy, is definitely some merit to taking this high ground location, I feel. Especially if you think Armani's gonna go Hydroling Bane again. Another Oracle coming out for stats. Stats, again, still wants the gateway, still wants to be at least a little bit okay against whatever Armani can pull against him. And Armani actually getting that early pneumatized Carapace, kind of a strange choice. I mean, I can see doing this against Parting or SOS, but stats, is this an upgrade that we really need? I'm not certain. Stats didn't even build a Phoenix stats game, so you know, it's kind of a fun little decision here, but Armani feels like he just wants the information. That's all he wants. So, I mean, he sees Stats doing the same thing, has to be at least a little okay about that. He is a good player, so his sport timings are mwah, on point. And actually, no spore in the natural, but you can have Queens to defend that. The least spores you can use, the better. Stats flying straight for the main base, and Armani, this is about the least appealing. If you're an Oracle, you'd be so turned off right now, both from an energy to use your attack perspective and from a more nefarious perspective. Still gonna get 2 drones actually, so pretty nice that from Stats. And actually 2 Adepts come in at the same time. Armani has a good response, pulling away, and it looks as though Stats probably gonna get these 2 drones if I were to guess. He actually commits the Adept Steeper instead of running away. Kind of surprised by that. Gets 1 more drone, maybe 1 more. And yeah, it's not bad. 6 drones in total. Can't be too angry about that. And yeah, third base coming down. Twilight Forge and a Void Ray. For whatever reason. But Void Rays have gotten a lot cheaper nowadays. You save 50 minerals and hey, there's some good upgrades going into them. He's not going to do any Void Ray play, I don't think. You know, it's not the NA server, and yeah, just gonna go and use his Void Rays to shoo away the Overlords. Can't really run away, because the Overlords, or rather the Void Rays do damage so fast, so I kinda like that. It's not that much money, and it definitely keeps you safe against roaches or anything. Nice attempt from a break-in by Armani, but doesn't really get too much in. Probably gonna see +1 on charge start up soon for stats, Drobo facility on the way, additional gates. Are we gonna see a Twilight, or rather a Templar Archives come down? As well, and yes we are. Hey, look at that, this caster pays attention. I've still got it, folks. Rusty around the edges but silky smooth in the middle, perhaps due to the cake but most likely due to my sheer casting prowess. Good play by me. Same exact build last game from Stats. Very safe, very much just kind of see what my opponent's gonna do and then defend everything sort of build. Definitely very appreciable, and the 3 Overlords get picked off, even with Overlord speed for Armani, so can't be too happy about that. And a fatty supply block. Oh my goodness. 7 Overlords on the way to alleviate that pressure, but definitely not what you want to be seeing. And Armani is actually probably going to get this hatch cancelled if he... Nah, he's not going to get it cancelled. No prismatic alignment on the Void Ray, but if that was up and the Oracles came in as well, I could very much foresee that happening. But no, Armani's going to be okay for now. And Stats, again, warping in the Zarkons, he's going to get his Warp Prism, he's going to have some aggression come up across the map, just to keep tabs on Armani. Armani wants to play the same game as Stats again. I just feel like I want to see some more aggression against Stats. He has that +1 again, but it doesn't really do much for him, getting it that early. I mean, I don't know, maybe he wants to get a fast +2, so Baning attacks are a lot more powerful, but we don't even see +2 on the production type. We see Roaches actually coming on out. So I'm a little confused as to what Armani's play here actually is, but I'm a Protoss player. I'm not super smart by definition. No, I'm kidding. But about Zerg things, I'm pretty stupid. Bugs confuse me. And I'm kind of scared of them. Really scared of them, actually. The spider stuff. But yeah, Stats again just going to find a little bit of damage. Very minimal damage. Actually going to pick off a Ravager here. Good play there from Stats. Just throwing off a little bit of juggling now. Maybe he wanted to get a Roach, but not going to happen. Oracles probably should just be looking to tag. Storm, 4 more gateways, and a 4th Nexus on the way. Just extremely solid macro play from Stats, and Armani needs to stay one step ahead, needs to figure out what he wants to do. He's making Lings, he's making more drones, he's trying to macro up, and there's no Spore at the 4th base, and now drones are dying by the dozen. Are they by the dozen? Okay, let's see. That counts, okay? 11, 12, there we go, Baker's dozen, which is 13, right? I think so. Kala, is a Baker's dozen 13? Is a Baker's dozen 13? Baker's dozen. That's 13, right? Okay, thank you. She wants to be a baker. You should know this, Kyla. Alright, there we go. More creep denial going on. Actually, pretty, not to say piss poor, but piss poor creep coming up from Armani. Just battered back by stats. No fault of his own. He's been trying. He has the queens, you can see it, but this is a very sad game for Armani so far. And now, 5 cannons going up, really nailing down that static defense. Look at this defensive position from stats. Can we just take a sec to admire that? Just look, he has a gateway wall up there, he had Templar, he has units all over his base, ready to defend from any angle while also getting that aggression out. I mean, we should be taking notes on this, folks. If you want to be a better Protoss player, a BPP, as they say, you should probably take a look at stats. But yeah, gonna go ahead and Armani's gonna position himself toward this location, the 4th base location. Not gonna be able to do too much. Maybe he's gonna pick up these Archons. No hold position on those means one does lose his life. For ire, as they say. And yeah, he's gonna go ahead and actually commit to this. I'm not sure about that. Oh, he's gonna take fat storms on the ramp, and all these banings just going down. Oh, for nothing, and just absolutely ruthless blanketing storms. I forget how to pull up resources lost, folks, but let me put it this way. Not many, many. Armani taking a rough fight on there. I don't know why he forced that, honestly. I mean, he knew it was up a ramp. There wasn't really anything super valuable there. He knew there was storm. I mean, I don't know. I don't know about that move, Armani. Gonna take him to the late game with that Spire and Hive again, but Stats already one step ahead. Has carrier production here. Has his +3 on the way. +1 in the air has already begun. And I fear we might see the same thing as last game, where Stats gets a couple of carriers, maybe like 5 or 6, gets Storm, gets +2 in the air, and just obliterates everything across the map. But we'll have to see. Stats looking for the army, does not find any, and when you don't find any army, you can infer that it's either killing you right now, or you're just really good, or they're really bad. Obviously it's going to be the former for this one, and Armani's going to try and find some hole in Stats' defense, but I don't really see where it is. I mean, Death Aura especially, how do you break a Protoss here? If they go Storm and you're a Zerg, I mean, maybe Ravagers? Oh, wow, a lot of banings committed over there, but only really gets 5 probes. Depowers a couple buildings, but it's just not an efficient trade. Stats gonna go ahead and try and repower everything, but he's gonna go ahead, Armani is gonna move up to this base again. Actually gets more probes here. 16 going down, and possibly more, 20. It's not bad at all. 59 to 93 workers. Looks great on the surface, except when you realize it's 120 army supply of Storm, Carrier, Immortal goodness versus some Zerglings. Gonna go ahead and try and get a fatty run by in, but no such luck. We don't need to see that. Not safe for Zerg content. This is also not safe for Zerg content. Everywhere on the map is just NSFZ. Ew. Sorry for all those Zerg players at home, but here we go. The response for Armani finally kicking in. 12 Corruptors, and again, +1 flyer attacks. I'm just not a fan against Corruptors. I mean, I can understand if you abduct, you want to kill it fast, but I mean, you generally overkill things when you abduct them, right? It's not like close most of the time. So I just don't understand this. It's not going to be as effective against the carriers as armor would be. But we'll see. Armani definitely a gazillion times better than me, so who am I to judge? Stats just taking more and more bases. 5 bases to 5 now. And Armani must be feeling the heat. He's going to go in and try and have a Zergling run by. Stats, because he is God, knows that it is coming and sends some Zealots. First to intimidate him by just running straight by, and then will defend perfectly at home regardless. Okay, maybe not. But in the middle of the map, there is a fight going on. This base actually probably going to go down. Good play there by Armani, actually. The king bleeds, and now Stats is feeling a little bit of pressure to put some magic on Armani. Let's see what happens. Is he going to be patient, or is he just going to fly in? Something tells me Armani just kind of wants to smash the face in of the Protoss player. He brings the Zerglings back for whatever reason. I'm not sure. Maybe an F2 move, but storms all over the Corruptors and Banelings. Oh, it's a bloodbath. Ah, dear lord, 1 Corruptor does go down, but all of Armani's army just died. GG is called, and Stats takes a very convincing game number 2 over Armani. And folks, I will see you in game 3, but I'm not sure there'll be much more after that. But fingers and toes crossed, give Armani your energy. I know some of you weren't wiggling, so please give whatever must give him your energy. And yeah, we'll see you guys in game number 3. Hello, friendly YouTube faces. It is Swagar from StarCraft II, here to finish off the last in the series, best of 5. Right now we're at 2-0 stats. Maybe introducing Armani first. We'll give him the kick in the pants that this Zerg player really needs. Spawning in the bottom right hand position of Submarine, it is Armani. Otherwise known as Armani. And in the top left hand side of Submarine, it is the blue Protoss player, Stats. Oh boy. Alright, so down 2-0 against one of the best Protoss players in the world. Can't feel too great, I assume. But you know what I do want to see? I really want to see Armani just pull some crazy schnitzel out of his back pocket. And I mean just the craziest, most mangled, deranged, disgusting crap you've ever seen. I want to see an Overlord poop creep there and then put a Spire down. And then put another one down and rush 2 Broodlords. Not exactly that, maybe, but, you know, similar. I want the same energy, right? I mean, I feel like Armani has tried to bash his face against the brick wall that is Stats just countless times, and it just never seems to work for him. Even if you're bashing your face pretty good against the wall, and the wall is taking some damage, I mean, it's still a brick wall, right? And at some point, you're gonna be bleeding, and Stats is like a brick wall shark. Smells blood on the faces. If that makes any sense. I'm sure it doesn't, but humor me, folks. I could use some hot tea after this, but that cake lubrication is starting to wear off. But we should be able to power through this. Stats should be going for pretty much the same build. If I were a betting man. If I were a betting man, I would say Stats plays the exact same way and doesn't change it, because he played exactly that build once, and he got damaged a lot, and he got put behind a lot, and he still won. And then he did it again, and he stayed pretty even with Armani, and then he won again. So, I mean, it's a very safe build, so, I mean, why not try it one more time, right? But again, if you're Armani, you're thinking that Stats knows that, so maybe you want to try something that counters that build. Thing is, Stargate is generally pretty safe in PvZ. I mean, the one thing I can think of, if I'm Armani, is try and hit Stats when he's powering up, when he's getting his Twilight, his Forge, his Robo, his Templar Archives, you know, around the 6-minute mark, you know, maybe try and get like a big Roach bust going on or something. That could do a lot of magic, you know. Oracles don't really kill that super fast, you know. But yeah, we need to see something change from Armani. We need to see some pain come on. We need to see him really dig deep, have a flashback or two, think about his childhood, you know. We need to see some passion come out from this Zerg player. Yeah, get angry, Armani. Get angry, because Stats is here to take your money. But here we go. We'll have to see what happens. Again, Stats taking 2 Adepts to start the game. One is going to be sent across the map. One is going to stay right back at home to plug the hole in the wall. You know what I've seen some ladder Zergs do, those degenerates? They pool their Lings right here. And then when the first Adept, and the timing that the first Adept gets sent out, they just run them all in, and it's just the most annoying thing you could possibly think of. But looks like no such things here from Armani. And we actually have a Void Ray coming out first. Am I seeing this right? Did I mess up? No, it's actually a Void Ray instead of an Oracle. Huh. Don't quite know what the idea is behind that. Armani knows that it's a Void Ray first, and he's probably just as confused as I am. Then again, I'm a very confused person in general, so I'm not sure about that. But yeah, we'll have to see. Okay, an Oracle comes out now. I think Stats just wants to kill out the Overlords, and yeah. Just gonna clear out the Overlords. No weird pool 3 Void Rays, capture the 3rd base sort of play. He's just gonna go ahead and clear Overlords. Maybe try and throw Armani for a loop, because I think even Stats knows he's being a little predictable at this point. So he's mixing it up. He gets a Void Ray first. It would be very strong if there was a Roach timing that Armani was trying to go for, but, you know, no such timing has come. Maybe he was trying to defend against that Roach Ravager Ling bust. That seems to be popular, but I think it happens faster than that, than it would have in this game. I'm actually not so sure. I don't know my timings on things. I really should, though, now that I think about it. Really probably should. In any case, Adepts are going to pick off 4... 3. 3.5, we'll say, because, you know, half damage on 2 drones equals full damage on 1 drone, right? And here we go. Twilight and Robo coming down now. No Forge, so I think Stats knows that Armani's gonna try some shit, so it's gonna play a little bit safer, I think. I think that's what this means. Twilight Forge, you know, Void Ray first. It just seems like a very safe way to do things. You know, just losing a couple lings over here, just tickling around the base of Stats, trying to find if he has any tickle spots. Stats, unfortunately, I checked, and I checked again, he does not have many tickle spots. In fact, this is kind of weird, but he's gonna go ahead and pick off a drone with the Void Ray and then just fly out. Because, I mean, if you have a Void Ray, why wouldn't you? There you go. Yeah, it's not gonna matter that your Void Ray took some damage. 2 drones, I'll take that any day. Now a Forge and a Dark Shrine coming out from Stats. Oh, I like this. Alright, here's what he's gonna do. He's gonna pretend like he's going for Dark Templar drops, but he's gonna drop DTs instead, and it's just gonna be a nightmare. I think he already has a layer though, right? No layer from Armani actually. So that's a change we've seen, and he's actually getting a respectable roach count. I can appreciate this. A creep highway coming out. Do I think what's happening is actually happening? I think it's actually happening. It's gonna be a queen roach push coming out from Armani. Very appreciable, but here's the thing. Here, we can look at this if you want. Sure, we'll look at that. And then oh, actually, a little bit of action going on over here. Picks off a sentry, it may be relevant, but the thing about Dark Templar is that they are dark, and, you know, it's kind of hard to see them without any detection. I mean, is there any... Does he even have a... I don't want to press the button and accidentally restart the replay. Did that like 3 times already. It's the worst feeling, so... I'm pretty sure... No layer, she's just gonna bust him. And I think Stats just... opened up a scroll, saw that it was Armani's mind, and then ate the scroll and gained its knowledge, because he is playing him so hard right now, it is not even funny. He's gonna go ahead and he's gonna lose the base, sure. But here's the thing, DT is gonna come in and they're gonna clean up everything from here. Nothing is gonna, well, actually most things are gonna escape. He's gonna lose the 3rd base though. I would have actually almost liked to see the DTs warping across the map. I don't think Stats was quite prepared for this defense, but it seems like, oh no, the force fields are really good. The DT is still striking and slicing and dicing. I wonder why Armani doesn't run. He got the base. Why does he want to keep losing units to Battery Overcharge and Dark Templar and Speedy? Why doesn't he just go back? I don't understand. He's gonna pick himself off an Immortal, which is nice, but I feel like the marginal value he's getting from staying is being far outweighed by all these army units he's losing. He's gonna try and get as many probes as he can. Stats trying to move him this way and that. I think he saved a good amount of them, and now all the roaches are gonna go down. Yeah. And at the end of the day, it's been a bloodbath, but 35 to 58 workers is not too bad. It's 21 to 20 army supply as well, and no Immortals. Warp Prism just now starting, so hey, I think this has worked. I think Armani's found himself in a nice position for the mid game. Overseer now on the way because he's like, yeah, probably should have one of those. It's amazing he was able to do as much as he could with no detection there. Big props to Armani. Stats having to restart this base. It looks like he's pushing across the map just to clear some creep. Observer's just gonna deny this creep highway a little bit. It's gonna be a little annoying. I mean, all of this creep is gonna go down, and all the queens died too, so it's not like he can spread it again easily. He's gonna target the Overseer. He's gonna turn on his Void Ray. Oh, that was nice and clever. See, okay, see, Stats knows what to do in these situations, right? He has some he's a good player. Any good player would know. They at least have some footing in these situations. I like that he's being active. I mean, the 3DT Void Ray hit squad, one of the weirder hit squads I've seen, but it's a hit squad nonetheless, and was able to do some damage to Armani. Armani's still powering up in workers, now realizing he should probably get some more army supply out there. No upgrades on the way, if I'm right. Yeah, no upgrades. In fact, no Evo chambers. I think Armani's just going to go for a secondary push here. He's positioning very aggressively out on the map. Ravagers being morphed in. You don't morph in Ravagers like that just for the fun of it, boys. Ding gets in. Blink Stalker actually picks that off. That's pretty cute. Very interesting to see Stats go for Blink here. And yeah, Zerglin gonna go and nibble away. I'm kind of curious to see how this is gonna work. I mean, Armani's gonna go for the same push again. This time Stats has a bunch of Force Fields, some Blink Stalkers, 2 Immortals. It looks like it's gonna be rougher, but if there's one thing that's good against Force Fields, it is Ravagers, so let's see. It's gonna start off by losing a couple of Ravagers to these Force Fields. Stats still trying to position very safely. A lot of sentries in front. This can get really dicey real fast. Bios rain down on the Force Fields. Can Stats hold? He has half the army supply. Let's see, he's gonna dodge the bios at the last second, trying to maximize the DPS. Battery Overcharge goes out. And I think this defensive position is just too strong for Stats. The Immortals racking up so much damage in this Void Ray. that just started seemingly from the middle of nowhere has put in so much work, and I should not have said that. Caster's Curse has cursed that Void Ray, but I mean, I don't know about this. Armani supply is starting to even up. Most of Armani supply is getting here, and now with the Blink StarCraft count getting higher and higher, they're gonna snowball Blink right on top of this army too. And the bio actually gets eaten by the StarCraft here. It says yum 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 delicioso before dying for ire. But it's gonna chase all these roaches and ravagers back. I feel like Armani, did he really need to force it that badly? I mean, now there's a War Prison to go ahead and juggle that. Now they're immortal, but Blink Stalkers and War Prisons can trade pretty well against Roach Ling, as it turns out, especially off creep. We have a lot. Oh, we have a cute little changeling wall to block the immortal from joining the fight. Alright, that is adorable. Oh, but it looks to be not enough. GG is called, and Armani just throws in the towel. Equal on workers, no upgrades, knows the Blink Stalker is gonna kill him, and folks, I believe that is it for our series. Stats will advance to the finals 3-0 over Armani. Kind of a heartbreaker there, but, you know, hey, Armani, no one can say Armani played bad in those games. There was definitely some moments, especially in game number 3, where I thought he was going to take it, but I guess it just was not meant to be, folks. But yeah, hope you've enjoyed this cast. Again, this is Swaggar from Alpha X StarCraft 2. Hope you enjoyed everything. Go ahead and leave a like on this video if you did. Go ahead and comment down below. Let's start some discussions. Let's talk about how good stats is, you know. And yeah, turns out pretty good. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and sign off, folks. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later.